Fight stigma and support mental health. Despite all of the advances made in understanding depression and other mental illness, these conditions are still stigmatized. The negative perception of mental illness probably comes from people not understanding mental illness or what it means to struggle with a mental illness. Mental illness stigma can lead to feelings of shame and self consciousness. It can negatively impact help seeking as well as early detection and prevention. Standing up to mental health stigma is an important way to support your own mental health and give a voice to those who are suffering in silence. Now, I'm going to give you ways to fight stigma and support mental health. First, we have to gain perspective. When thinking about the role depression plays in someone else's life or in your own life, here are some statements to share or take to heart. Depression is something you have. Does not define you. You are much more than your diagnosis. Your personality, talents, skills, and compassion are your defining traits, not your depression. Like diabetes or cancer, depression is a physical illness that needs to be carefully treated. Just as a diabetic should take daily steps to monitor and control blood sugar levels, you should take action to monitor and control your symptoms of depression. Second is to share your mental health journey with the others. Sharing a story about mental illness or recovery from a mental illness can be empowering for you and for others who are suffering mental illness. Use your story to prove that harmful stereotypes about mental illness are not true and to encourage others to speak up and seek help. There are many ways to share your story, so don't be shy and have courage to share it. And third, we have to share positive messages about mental health. Use social media or another approach to openly discuss mental health, to show your support for others who do so, and to share validated information about mental illness and treatment. Fourth, educate yourself and others about mental health. Education can reduce stigma and improve the environment surrounding mental health. Education is the most powerful tool you can use to counter any shame you may feel about your mental illness and to make sure others know what mental is and isn't. Fifth, be conscious of your language. Words matter. Avoid using hurtful words and labels such as crazy, weird, strange when talking about yourself or someone else with a mental illness. Use respectful language when talking about mental health. Instead of the mentally ill, use people with mental illness. And instead of committed suicide, use died by suicide. Let someone know if you hear them using harmful language. Now we have the sixth way to fight stigma and mental health. Recognize someone's identity outside of their illness. Viewing someone as their diagnosis reduces the complexity of their experience. Their diagnosis is not the defining factor of their identity. 7. Support local and national mental health organizations and crisis centers. Volunteering and donating to organizations can be a big help to someone or to everyone who is struggling with mental illness. Number 8. Speak up. If you suspect that someone may be in a crisis or is struggling with their mental health, send messages of support and assist them in getting the help they need. There are even ways to help if you see someone post a status on social media that shows signs of self-harm. Reach out to them or someone who knows them or report it to the social media site. And lastly, be a mental health advocate. You may decide to start or sign a petition, write to your elected representatives, start a mental health blog like this, or spread mental health awareness in some other way. Now I have advices for two categories. First is my advice for everyone. Help change Help change negative attitudes and discriminatory behavior towards people with mental illness. For example, intervene when people make jokes or unpleasant or inappropriate comments. Remind them that their comments can be hurtful and contribute to stigmatization of people with mental illness. Help educate people about mental illness by offering quality information. Openly express positive comments about people who suffer from mental illness. Support community initiatives to fight the stigmatization and discrimination associated with mental illness. And my last advice is for the people suffering from mental illness. Developing your knowledge and understanding of mental illness will help increase your self confidence and trust in your abilities. For instance, participate in self help and support groups in order to be informed. This way, you can talk with other people who are in the same situation and share your experiences. Join the virus assisting committees in your community or health and social services organizations. Your experience can serve to better adopt programs and services offered to the general public. The implementation of some of these recommendations can help ministries of health to support advocacy in their countries or regions. The development of an advocacy movement can facilitate the implementation of policies and legislation to mental health. As a result, the population is likely to benefit in many ways. The needs of persons with mental disorders will be better understood and their rights will be better protected. They will receive services of improved quality and will participate actively in the planning, development, monitoring, and evaluation of the services. Families will be supported in their role as carers, and the population at large will have a better understanding of mental health and disorders. And lastly, long-term benefits include the wider promotion of mental health and the development of protective factors for mental health. This, of course, doesn't mean life will suddenly be perfect. The same life challenges will show up, but if your mind is strong, if your mind is at peace, your reaction to the challenging times will be very different. Your reaction will be, how can I make this work? Not, why is this happening to me? And then others will look up to you, not with pity, but with hope, because your strength will become their hope and their strength. You really can be that powerful. You can ditch the victim story, you can leave the pain behind, and focus on how you will react next. Don't give up. You are worthy. You are more than worthy. You deserve experience how great life can be, and you owe it to the world to be that positive change for the others, to inspire others who will look to you and say, he did it, she did it, and I can do it too.